All right, everybody. Welcome to Nobody's Listening, So Who Cares? I am your co-host, Sam, and joining me as always is your co-host, Spencer. And today we have a special guest, our first guest of the podcast ever. Super famous guy, my brother, Noah.
Yay! Welcome, Noah.
Yeah,
How's
thanks
it?
for having me, guys. I took a lot of time out of my busy schedule to be here, so this is just shows how much you guys mean to me.
Yeah, I could tell. Between dinner and dessert and
Pooping.
pooping. Yeah, that's pretty
Like I was
good.
telling Spencer earlier, I pooped 4 times today.
Yeah, you're eating a lot of Raisin Bran, man. What's
Raisin
up with
Bran. Mentioning Raisin Bran, that's our sponsor for tonight.
that? We don't have a sponsor yet, but we can shout out Raisin Bran.
I'll take Raisin Bran as a sponsor. I'll take some free Raisin
If you want to poop 4 times in a night, or a day, maybe 5, we'll see. The night is still young. Eat Raisin Bran.
It's a lot of fiber, man. What are you doing to yourself?
Pooping.
Yeah,
I guess so.
So that was a great intro. So now you guys know what you're in for. So yeah, just stop listening now, because apparently this is where we're at with this podcast. We're literally in the toilet.
Episode 9.
So yeah, let's do a check-in. Spencer, do a quick check-in from you. How was your week? Anything exciting?
No, the stimulus check bill got passed, so some people are getting their money. I haven't checked my bank account to see. The only real update from my week, I just had a busy week, was at work all week, but my air conditioning broke, and it just started to get warm in Tennessee. I know it feels like last week it was frozen here. And now I came home one day and my apartment was like 80 something degrees. I couldn't cool it off. It was terrible, but I think it's starting to cool off now. So I think it's all right.
A lot of weather talk on this podcast.
Well, that's the weekly update.
That's the weekly update, because that shows how exciting our lives are. Is all we get to talk about is the weather.
Yeah, that's the only thing that changes week to week sometimes.
Well, yeah, the stimulus check, that's going to be huge. I mean, Noah's bank account is going to go,
it's going to triple.
It's going to go. Yeah, no, it's going to go for
1,400% increase.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. From 0 to 14, man. That's.
You think I'm kidding?
He's not. He decided to go. Well, that kind of segues. He decided to go on a trip to Costa Rica during a global pandemic. So let's hear about that. How was that?
Well, to clarify things before we start throwing me under the bus, I got COVID tested the day before I left, and then I got COVID tested the day before I came back. So I was responsible.
Okay.
The COVID test on the way back was because I had to, but still responsible.
Yeah.
But did you have it?
Did I have COVID? No.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yeah, I don't think I did, but it didn't show up in the test, so we're good.
That's good.
So what was your trip like? Tell us any highlights, any lowlights.
So we got there. We left on New Year's Eve. Got there on New Year's. We decided that we were going to save money and start walking around the capital, which is San Jose. And we learned very shortly that gets very tiring when you have lots of luggage on your back. Highlights. I think the highlight was we went on like this 3-mile hike in to this national park and 3-mile hike out right on the beach. And we got to the spot where we wanted to chill, and we went into the water. And then we look back to the beach, and there's a monkey grabbing my backpack, pulling things out of it, trying to steal stuff. So I just sprinted out of the water and scared him off. And I felt bad because he looked me in the eyes and he gave me this he looked like he'd been through it, and he gave me this look in his eyes I needed this.
You didn't have any crackers or anything for him?
No, you're not supposed to feed the monkeys. There's signs everywhere. But we had just eaten all our carrots and hummus, so we were fresh out of food.
It sounds to me like the monkey deserves some of those carrots and hummus. No. You should feel bad.
Low key, if I still had the carrots and hummus, I probably would have given him some, but we ate it already. So
or is the monkey a freeloader just asking for a handout?
So we learned that the monkeys roll in packs when we were there, and this dude was by himself. So I think he probably got kicked out of his clan because there's only one guy per clan typically, and usually he gets challenged by another male, and if he loses, they kick him out pretty much.
Wow.
So he probably got kicked out.
You know, Noah, you know so much. You know so much about monkeys. I'm like low key, to use your word, low key surprised you didn't come home with a monkey. Because if anyone could do it, you could.
Well, his dog is close enough to a monkey as it is.
Yeah, I can barely take care of myself and a dog, so I think a monkey will probably have to wait a couple years for that.
It sounds like this monkey takes pretty good care of himself, though, if he's stealing food.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't do a very good job of it.
I feel like you could straight up train this monkey to be like the monkey in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think he was maybe he wasn't that small. I want a smaller monkey so I can just have him on my shoulder at all times.
And he just chills and hangs out with you.
Yeah, and just like jumps around and shit, steals keys, wallets, credit cards, like all the good stuff that you might need in this life.
You got that stimulus money. How much is a monkey? Sam, what's the line on a monkey these days? Do you know?
Do I look like a monkey dealer? I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
I don't know. You're the oldest.
Anything.
You're the oldest. I figured you'd know.
Yeah, it means I'm probably closer to Alzheimer's than the rest of you.
I think we're all pretty close.
One interesting fact that I did learn is howler monkeys are the largest loudest mammals in the world. We thought it was a dinosaur because it like howls at like 5 a.m. every day.
And then you forgot that dinosaurs went extinct like a million years ago.
Yeah. Then we realized after a quick Google search that dinosaurs had in fact been extinct.
Yeah. Well, Costa Rica, isn't that where Jurassic Park was like supposed to be, right? Or was it filmed in Costa Rica or
filmed in Hawaii?
It was filmed in Hawaii, yeah, but I don't know where it was. I thought it was a fictional island that it took place on.
Yeah, but I thought it was like Costa Rica area. Like it was the Caribbean. It was an island on the Caribbean that whatever. I mean, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying. Maybe he thought that it was in Jurassic Park.
People learn so much when they listen to this podcast. It baffles me how much we know that we could teach people.
I downloaded a bunch of Hans Zimmer Pirates of the Caribbean music because we were on the Caribbean side for the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
And so like when we got there, we were just driving the coast, blasting the Jack Sparrow songs. And honestly, that's one of the best feelings I've ever had.
Do you notice that he said Pirates of the Caribbean, but then called it the Caribbean right afterwards?
Yeah, because I'm not sure which one is right, so I had to have both of them in there.
Well, one's fictional and then one's real. So I don't know which one's which, but yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Is your guys fact checker? Can he check that?
Yeah, the guy that we pay full time to check our facts. So anyway, moving forward, stimulus checks. We could talk a little bit about that. About damn time, right?
Daddy Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about $1,400, regardless of when it comes.
Yeah, I mean, so my fiance, she never got her original stimulus check. So apparently they're going to put it on your tax return, as far as I know. That's what I've heard. So she'll get a nice little paycheck plus a tax return. So you know what that means. We're putting it all on GameStop.
But
hey, it's going back. Oh, I don't want to talk about GameStop. It makes me sick to my stomach.
No, update for anyone that doesn't know. So quick update. It went up. So it was, it did. We talked to the whole episode, so we're not talking about what happened. But it went back down. I sold at about 60. It was living at about $40 a share for a few weeks, and then one day, like 2 weeks ago, it jumped up to like 150. And then on a Friday, the market closed for the weekend, and then opening up, it was like a Thursday because Friday, and then it went back down, and it was hovering at like 100, 120 for another like week or so, and then a few days ago, it just jumped up to like I think it closed. It's like 250, and I sold at 60, and then I bought right in again at 120, sold at 100 because I was too scared it was going to go back down to 40. And so I've lost every step along the way. So I'm done. I'm done with GameStop. Short story long, I'm done. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's just I don't like the stock anymore.
Yeah,
so sorry. All you got to say.
Sorry for that little tangent, but yeah. I don't know. In all seriousness, I really do think that, the stimulus check is going to help. I mean, it's not enough especially for a lot of people. But it's a step in the right direction. There's a lot of other little things that they're doing as far as like tax incentives or tax breaks and all that kind of stuff. So that'll help. But
yeah, it's definitely a wild ride.
Yeah.
Now Biden is saying by May he wants like every adult vaccinated in the country.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Good
luck
luck.
That. Yeah, QAnon will have something to say about that.
Yeah, well, cover it in Conspiracy Corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if they throw all the vaccinations in Bud Light, then everyone will be vaccinated.
I don't know if that's how vaccines work, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, I think it's a good. If you just tell them that it gives you the same feeling that Bud Light does, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, or you disguise it as some white trash like incentive, then I'm sure they'll be all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure that we just alienated our entire audience here because I think that's the only people that would listen to this show.
What, white trash?
Yeah,
we're borderline white trash, so like we're allowed to make fun of our own.
shoe fits. So before we,
look at your room.
Yeah, well, that leads me into my next point actually. So a little update on my move because I know everyone's just waiting to hear about my moving process. I'm actually pretty farther along than I thought I would be.
I hope so. You're moving tomorrow.
Yeah, but well, honestly, like I figured that I would be at this point of recording the podcast, and then I got to get off because I have to go start packing. I actually didn't do that. I started packing yesterday, so
that's good. And
So
for
we're
those
actually
watching, by the way, just quick shout out. Go watch us on YouTube. We'll throw the channel name in later. But if you watched last week's, you can see the progress Sam's made by how cluttered his closet looked last week to right now. I'm really glad you left it open for both weeks so we could actually see the progress you've made.
You got to give a visual update.
Yeah, exactly. I like it.
So,
I respect the move.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited. Honestly, really all I have is left like the TV and a couple other things. So
don't forget that sombrero back there. Is that a sombrero?
It's just like a straw hat. Yeah.
Oh, good. Don't forget that.
So okay. Well, let's move on because this is getting dull because nobody cares because nobody's listening.
If it's getting dull, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
nobody listens anyways. Like it could be the best shit anyone's ever heard, but no one's ever gonna hear it.
Hey, Noah, you can't say that. You're our guest.
Yeah,
I expect you to be courteous.
What, I can't say dull?
No, you can't say nobody listens. Only me and Sam can say that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to play into your guys' thing.
Not cool.
Your guys' producers did not give me the rundown. So if anyone should be at fault, it's the producers.
Yeah, he's fired anyway.
They didn't talk to my people.
Blame the producers. All right, well let's move on. So we have a new not a new segment, a adapted segment. So we did our top 7 a few weeks ago, and we didn't want to do a top 7 with a guest because we'll be here forever. So we're gonna do when we have a guest on and we want to do a top list. We're gonna do top 4. So the category for today's top 4 is famous women over 70 years old that are still alive. So the reason we wanted to do this is, it was International Women's Day this week. Want to give a shout out to all our queens out there that are still going after 70 years old. That's quite an accomplishment. So we want to honor some of those ladies by putting them in our top list. Now, again, like the one we had a couple of weeks ago, it's just top. There's no subcategory. Not best, better, best looking, any of those. It's just top 70 or top women over 70 years old, celebrity women over 70 years old, still alive. And we're going to do a snake draft, stealing from, other podcasts, but whatever, because nobody listens, so we're not going to get a cease and desist letter anyway. So we'll do top 4. Let's do a snake draft. So meaning the person who goes first, then the person who goes second, the person who goes third picks twice, goes back to the person who picks second, the person who picked first goes twice. That makes sense to everybody?
This isn't going to be confusing at all.
So it's a snake. So since Noah's the guest, we'll make him go in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, then who goes first?
You can go first and I'll go last.
All right. I'll go first.
All right. Pull up your list. Let's go.
All right. Number one, I feel like it would be a shame of me if I didn't do this, seeing as how I'm an adopted son of Tennessee. It's going to be Dolly Parton. You know, she's awesome. She's amazing. Tennessee has a Dollyland. Been in movies, obviously. Huge country music star. Still beautiful at age. I didn't look up what age she is, but she's definitely past 70. So that's my number one.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a good pick.
Respect.
Noah, you're number two. I already know you're
Well,
number
it would
two
be
is. That's
disrespectful to myself as a, huh?
No, I said
What
just
did you
go.
say?
Just go. Just go ahead.
I would have ruined my introduction to the most wonderful old
Just
lady
start
of
over.
all time. I said it'd be disrespectful to my young self and myself now if I didn't take this absolute dime of a woman, Mrs. Betty White. Of course. I've always had a weird thing for Betty White. You could say it's like an intimate sexual crush, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that for me. Yeah, I'm not gonna go any further because I don't want to really get too weird. So I'm just gonna let Sam go.
That's good. That's good. I
Yeah,
like it.
please.
A good choice.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Meryl Streep. I'm sure that she was on other lists as well. Arguably the GOAT of female actresses. 3 Oscars, Devil Wears Prada. In countless movies. She is a legend of the acting game. Will forever be in Hollywood Hall of Fame. So you gotta give her props.
21
number
Oscar
2.
nominations.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. My next one, and sorry, Noah, but I'm going with Stevie Nicks.
Dude, he literally stole that from me earlier today.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I gave you Betty White. I could have taken Betty White and made myself go before you.
Stevie Nicks is way hotter than Betty White. Sorry, Betty, but
This isn't about hotness. This is about top.
all right. Well, that's one of the reasons that you might pick that person.
So Stevie Nicks, voice of an angel, voice of a generation.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Fleetwood Mac was, obviously a little bit before our time, but the music's still relevant to this day. Even 6 months ago that there was that TikTok that went super viral with that Hispanic dude drinking the cranberry juice, going down the
420. What's his name?
To Dreams.
Yeah, to Dreams, and it just revamped how amazing Stevie Nicks is. So she's my number 2.
Good pick.
Noah.
All right. I'm gonna have to go with Miss Hillary Clinton. Any woman of power that can successfully get away with the amount of murders that she has, regardless of the morality of the situation, has my respect.
No comment.
Wow. So aptly put, Noah.
Yeah.
And you could argue, it's the closest woman to the closest a woman has ever come to president, which is powerful. And then what Noah said too, I'm sure that.
Well, is that true? Because Kamala Harris is vice president, so
yeah, but she didn't win the nomination to run for president. So
She
if
just
Kamala
needs Joe
Harris
Biden-
becomes president, then yeah.
You need
but I would
Joe
say
Biden to get got.
But I feel like we already
It's not
know
conspiracy corner yet, Noah. Slow
Yeah.
your roll.
Yeah, let's not talk about. Never mind. I'm not even going to say those words because I don't want to get us.
We're already
banned.
on a list. We're already on a list.
Yeah. Once I
You
did that
think you
Wayfair
get-
thing.
You think the FBI is wasting their tax dollars on you guys?
No, nobody listens. We understand this. Like YouTube doesn't listen.
Actually,
'cause they-
honestly, the NSA is probably the only people listening to this because they listen
No.
to everything.
they'll get through 3 minutes and turn it off.
Yeah, but at least we have listeners. So thank you, NSA. We appreciate your support.
All right, is it my
All right.
turn?
You got 2, Spencer.
And I got 2. All right.
Yep.
First choice, or my second pick, I guess, is going to be the Queen of England.
Oh.
So I guess that is a little
Relevant.
controversial.
Relevant, yeah.
Very relevant, right? About all that stuff that's going on with her son and daughter-in-law or grandson, and I don't know how to. I don't know
I
how
thought
the
you were
whole
gonna
thing.
say the queen, comma, someone, she's the queen.
No,
What's her
the
real
actual
name? Victoria?
Queen Elizabeth, right? Queen Victoria.
Yeah. No, Victoria's one of the older ones. I don't know. Who
They're
cares?
all named the same.
Who cares, dude? They're British. Nobody cares. We're
Uh,
Americans.
But
They
yeah,
eat beans on wheat bread.
We elect our corrupt officials. We don't. They're not born into families.
yeah. Well, yeah, the Queen is pretty badass, right? World War II vet, actually. She drove trucks and like heavy trucks in World War II, I think, which makes sense because she's a billion years old and still kicking ass, and still got that swagger. So even though we all are Americans, I still think she's worthy of being on the top 4 list. My next one, man, this is tough. You guys kind of took all the good ones. Yoko Ono. I'm gonna throw a dark horse in there. Yoko Ono. I did Google it.
She's still alive?
She is not only alive, she is still making art.
For everyone not watching, he put that in quotations.
Yeah, sorry, air quotes, art.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen, there's this video of Yoko Ono, like the Beatles are trying to play a song and she just like screams. It's John Lennon tries to play with Chuck Berry and she just gets on the microphone and just screams and freaks Chuck Berry out. I mean, if you're able...
The reason that they broke up?
I think one of the main ones, I don't think she was as influential as people think. I think the band was just headed different directions anyway, but I fault her and I blame her for it. And if you can infiltrate like the biggest band ever at that point and break them up because you got some magical juices or something, like, I don't know.
It's their toxic masculinity, dude.
Yeah, John Lennon was the epitome of toxic masculinity, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude was a simp for Yoko Ono. All right, that's my third one, dark horse.
All right, Noah.
Oh, it's back to me. I don't know if I'm going to go super controversial because I have one that's... Yeah, I'll say that one for last because I guarantee you guys didn't pick that one. Well, I still have some people on my list I could choose from. But we're going to have to share.
Cher. How many songs by Cher do you know?
I know 0.
No, do you believe in life after love? You know that song.
Do I believe in magic?
Now I have to edit this thing because now I have to edit that out. So thanks for giving me work, Spencer.
Wait, why would you have to edit that out?
Nobody needs to hear what we just heard.
Oh my God, just leave it in. Who cares? Nobody listens.
I do know that Cher is worth $360 million.
Holy cow, really?
Still.
She probably invested her money well, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, if she sells $360 million for a musical artist, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I think most singers of her generation invested it into cocaine. So I don't think that she's not in a hard class to outshine.
Yeah, she is pretty badass. So she kind of went into that industry at the time where it was dominated by the male species and kind of kicked ass and took names. And now she's got a lot of money and she's single.
Hey, there you go, Noah. There's your plan.
Sugar mama. All right. Well,
work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, there you go. So I have my last two. I have 3 names on my list. So I'm going to take one out. I'm going to go with Judi Dench. Judi Dench, James Bond. I love her accent, her short hair. She reminds me of like my like a British grandma, but like badass. She's just, because Daniel Craig is our Bond. He's our generation's James Bond. And she, I know she's in a lot of other stuff, but all I can ever picture her in is James Bond. So
yeah,
love her for that. And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do another actress. I know I was gonna go with an athlete, but I'm gonna do an actress because Julie Andrews grew up on. I probably took yours, Spencer.
Yeah, you took two of mine just there. The two choices that I had left. Now I have to go super left field on this last one.
So, yeah, Julie Andrews, Mary Poppins, Sound of Music, ultimate classics. I know, again, another one, before our time, but I grew up on those movies. My mom loved those movies. She showed them to us. Sound of Music still to this day holds up.
Yeah, so does Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, yeah, it's an iconic role. So, and she's
go down.
Lots of singing on this podcast.
Yeah. Maybe hopefully American Idol's listening. So yeah, that's my last one.
Is it my turn again?
Yep, you're finishing up. Oh God.
All right, this one's very controversial, but I had to save it for last.
Maybe I have to beep this name.
It is Miss Caitlyn Jenner, baby. She is 71.
I didn't know that.
I actually didn't know she was that old.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
How is this controversial?
Because some people, not me, but some people don't believe she's an actual woman. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
But
thanks for the education.
Another reason that it's controversial, and the reason that I picked her, is because another woman that successfully got away with murder.
That's actually true.
Wait, who did Caitlyn Jenner kill?
Allegedly,
she ran someone over.
Allegedly.
Oh yeah,
we always use.
That's right.
We have to use allegedly.
That's right.
I forgot about that. Let me rephrase
She allegedly ran someone over in her car. Yes.
Allegedly got away with murder, and once again, morality of the situation set aside.
I don't know. I was waiting for something to be said.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, I think I picked up what you put down.
Smooth criminals, kind of dope.
Yeah,
that's all his list is smooth criminals.
So we know what sort of things Noah would be doing if he were born a woman, or if he became a woman.
Like getting away with murder?
Apparently, because that's what he seems to be drawn towards.
Girls probably less likely to get convicted of murder. And I'm totally speaking out of my ass right now. But
welcome to the podcast.
Oh, so you haven't been this whole time?
No, I haven't.
Okay, good. Because I was
saying that one was really out there, and I have nothing to support that or back it up. I'm just taking a wild guess.
Again, welcome to the podcast because that's what we do here.
Punishments.
We take wild guesses. All right, Spence, finish us off.
All right. Well, now my entire list has been picked. No, I don't think you picked any of them, by the way. I think I had 8 names and Sam picked all 4.
But there you go. You have one left over.
I think I'm going to go Barbara Streisand because she's an EGOT.
That was on my list.
She's an EGOT, right? Like, that's really impressive. An Emmy, a Golden Globe, or a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony, right?
Is she really?
Yeah, I think Barbara Streisand has the EGOT. Because she had a singing career and she was on stage too.
I didn't know that was a thing, but that's
well. Don't fact check me,
Barbara Streisand.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure. To tell you the truth, I think I've seen one Barbara Streisand movie. I couldn't tell you what movie it was either. But because all my other names got taken, that's going to be my 4th and final pick.
So, some honorable mentions: Jane Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
Diane Keaton.
That's who I.
Yeah. Suzanne Somers, Sally Field,
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn too. Yeah, I saw that.
She's so bad too.
Yeah, Noah, you have crushes on a lot of older women. I feel like,
there's something going on there. All right.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
yeah, we know. We know. All right, let's move on to Conspiracy Corner. All right.
Sweet.
Spencer, take it away. It is your week for Conspiracy Corner. So buckle in, folks.
Yay. That it is. And Noah, welcome to Conspiracy Corner for the very first time.
I'm going to do a wheelchair spin for Conspiracy Corner.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, this part of the podcast is super stupid. Noah made it halfway.
Yeah, Yeah, because he left an earphone in. And also, just so they know, Noah doesn't need a wheelchair. There's just a wheelchair at the house that he's currently using. Just for
it's just fun. I know some people probably wouldn't think that, but
wheelchairs are fun.
Probably not for people that are in them. I genuinely feel bad.
That's good. I'm glad you feel bad. All right.
Okay, let's just move on. Let's just go. Let's move forward. Let's keep driving forward. This podcast has already gone off the rails since minute 1. So,
what do you expect was going to happen when you asked me to be on it?
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what I had in mind. This is probably the most fun podcast that I've done.
Okay. Nobody else is probably laughing. We're probably the only ones laughing. That's okay.
Who cares?
Oh, yeah, because nobody's listening.
All right.
Oh, wait, I'm not allowed to say that.
Oh, man. All right. For real. I am going to do this week, I'm doing the Conspiracy Corner on the Denver International Airport. Sam, I know you said earlier in this week that you've never been there. No, have you ever been to the Denver International Airport?
I was just there a couple weeks ago.
So maybe you'll know what I'm talking about then. I've done fly-throughs through Denver, but I was never like in this area. But there's a huge following online that goes into this Denver International Airport theory. There's a lot of really weird things about this airport that I'm going to share with you today. A lot of theories, a lot of crazy stuff. So I'm going to try to break it down as easy as I can, and then we'll talk about what it all might mean when I'm done. So first of all, the Denver International Airport was commissioned as an international airport in 1994. And the company, or the organization rather, that gets credit for the commission of the airport is the New World Airport Commission, with Freemasonry support. And I do have some pictures I'm going to pull up for people right now.
Right, I'm going to add you to the stream. Okay. So if you're just listening, if you actually want to see, sorry about my mic. If you guys want to see these pictures or visual stuff, just go to our YouTube. Nobody's listening. SWC, I think. I'll double check that. But yeah, you'll be able to see this. So,
yeah. So what you should see on the screen right now is the cornerstone, or the commission block that the Freemasons actually installed on the property of the airport. Up here, I'll kind of use my mouse as a pointer. You see the Denver International Airport.
It looks like a headstone from like a cemetery. That's what I would describe it as. It's really crazy.
It really does. Here's obviously the Freemason symbol and the date of commission. And I don't know if you can see this, if this is actually coming up on the pod. But right here is where it says the New World Airport Commission. And so there's a lot of theories out there right now about the New World Order, about this secret cabal. We talked a little bit about it when we did George Soros, when Sam did the Conspiracy Corner on George Soros. But basically a cabal that's a secret government overarching all nations and groups in the world to manipulate people into doing their bidding. So that's a little weird. That's kind of the foundation of the airport. Yeah. And this is the foundation of the airport, the New World Airport Commission and all of that. The next thing I kind of want to show a picture of is what's outside the airport. So this blue stallion, this blue horse with these red eyes, which I hope you can see in the picture. I hope it comes out.
Well, just so people who aren't watching, it's a big statue out front of the airport, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's out in front. It's blue and has red eyes, and it's up on its hind legs.
Rearing up, yeah.
Rearing up. Super weird. Just, you got to some people aren't going to be able to see it, so we'll just letting you guys know kind of what it looks like. If you want to see what it looks like, you can look it up. It'll be the first thing popping up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so funny story about this statue actually is the artist who made this statue actually died before they put the statue up, and then they put the statue up anyway.
Didn't it fall on him?
Yeah, so it fell when he was making it. Obviously, the statue is all steel, so it's super heavy. and it fell on his leg and cut off his artery, and I think it caused like a blood clot that later killed him. But they still put it up kind of like in his memory, although it is weird. Like just looking at it, especially in the picture that we're looking at right now for all the audio listeners, there's this big storm behind it, so it looks ominous as hell. But yeah, it looks like one of the four horses of the apocalypse, in my opinion. That's just what kind of screams out. It kind of looks like an evil looking horse with glaring red eyes.
Well, it's just weird because like when you go to airports, the art and like any sort of things out front, like you go to LAX, it just says it's a big LAX. Like there's no weird symbol or like statues. It just doesn't feel like it should be there.
No, it doesn't feel right at all.
I think it looks kind of dope.
Well, maybe we can get it at your future residence or a miniature version. And also the layout of the tarmac, a lot of people say it's in the layout of a swastika. I mean, I'll pull this up right here. I mean, you can maybe see it. The tarmacs all go out in different directions, like right here. So if you really put it together and some people trace it, it looks like a swastika. But that's not the weirdest part. In my opinion, there's some weirder things inside the airport. So what I just pulled up for the visual, and for the audio listeners, it's these murals, and they're inside this airport. There's multiple murals. They're going to be really hard to explain. But the one that we're looking at right now, there is huddled children in the like wake of this giant soldier with a gas mask, and he's holding this giant scimitar. Looks like he's stabbing doves. He's got a gun in his left hand, and there's a rainbow that looks like he swiped a rainbow across the sky. And there's like ruins in the background and some people that look, like they're dying or that they're plagued in some way. Like Sam said, you just really don't expect this stuff to be in an airport, right? You just want to go through, you expect it to be basic. Oh, nice colors, whatever. I mean, I think if I was walking through this airport,
pictures of the Rocky Mountains, like
Colorado things.
Yeah.
This looks like USSR paintings. I don't know how else to put it. It looks like a fever dream.
Yeah, it does.
And then this is another mural, another couple murals from the same place. So you can see super colorful work here, but there's like fire in the backgrounds of some of these things, like penguins in cages and children that look like they're in distress because the forest is on fire behind them. And it's just very bizarre. Here's another one that just kind of looks odd the more that you look at it. It's just a bunch of children around the world with a bunch of different flags going everywhere. And like Sam said, and like I said before, it's all just artwork that you wouldn't expect to see in an airport. So I think it causes it's ground for a lot of conspiracy because people see stuff like this and they see the Freemasonry stuff and they hear about the statue that kills this man. I think they go a little wild, right? So then they start digging around and they realize that there's a tunnel structure that's underneath the airport. And it's not like your standard tunnel, right? I think a lot of places talk about their building plans and they say, oh, we have tunnels for this and for that. And Sam, you can go ahead and stop sharing my screen now so I can go back to. So I think a lot of people, they'll be like, yeah, we have tunnels for this, that, and the other. The airport staff says that there are no tunnels whatsoever. But people have seen plans that are apparently for the Denver International Airport that say there's like nuclear grade bunkers underneath of it.
Well, didn't some like former construction workers that allegedly worked on the airport came out and said that there is tunnel system as well? That's what I read. Yeah.
Yes, which is really weird that the airport staff now currently is like, oh, this conspiracy is totally untrue and there are no tunnels that I know of. And it's like,
there's a video United posted, like actually I think it was this year or last year. Like a United sponsored video on YouTube. You can go pull it up on YouTube right now, and it's like them kind of making fun of the conspiracy, but basically like trying to prove it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just weird that like, I don't know, was that necessary for like a company like United to make a video like that? It was just, I don't know, go look it up. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it. It's weird.
I think it's one of their hubs, right? One of United's hubs.
Yeah, I know LA is one of their biggest ones, but yeah, Denver, that makes sense. But it's just weird. Like, I don't get why that was necessary. So,
yeah, it is very bizarre. So I think with all of these different things that kind of point out these oddities, right? So a lot of people have said these bunkers are home for the reptilians. So these reptilians who have infiltrated every level of our government, when they need to go and recharge their human suits, whatsoever, that they go down into these bunkers to recharge. I don't think that's true.
That's fact.
Well, I mean, you take it from the man himself.
yeah.
But I do think that there is something odd going on. Like Sam said, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you have these murals? Why would you? And even there have been these rumors for years now. I remember hearing about this years ago, and just now they're saying, "Oh, this is controversial. We might take it down." But these murals have stayed there for years, and there's all these conspiracy theories. And with this New World Airport Commission, I don't know if there's something more sinister. I do think it's weird. The next time you go through the Denver International Airport, I encourage you to go look at these things and see for yourself. I've never seen the murals for myself, but people that I have heard that they get eerie feelings when they pass them, and they're just like, "What? Like, what is this on the wall?" It doesn't make any sense.
The New World thing isn't just in. It's not just in Denver. You see it in most other, airports. I've seen it kind of all around, like on planes and.
Mm-hmm.
Here and there, and it's always makes you feel a little uncomfortable when you see it. I just don't know, like I maybe I get the idea of like New World, like we're all connected now through air travel, it's a new world. I think that's like kind of the idea behind it, but it's a little weird.
But we've been in that new world, right? That air travel for decades now.
Yeah, for 100 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that many people flew Delta Airlines.
No, but I'm saying like we've been flying for over 1920 years.
But it is true.
Trying to brainwash us and like send our subconscious these messages that we just pass off every day, and then finally, when they impose this idea on us, it's just going to be like, click. All right, we're already chipped. The chip connects to our subconscious, and we're good to go.
Is that where your subconscious is down here?
I don't know where it is, but this is where I feel things sometimes.
Okay, it's good. Sometimes that's good.
He's pointing at his chest for anyone that can't see.
Well, no, I think you've already been brainwashed. I mean, you said yourself that Hillary Clinton, who, if there is a New World Order, she's definitely in that New World Order.
Oh, that's facts.
She has, she's on your top 4 list. I mean, she's already brainwashed you. You think that's the shit?
Yeah, dude, a woman like her, she has control over me, man. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help myself. I just like turn into a different animal, man.
But I think with all the conspiracy corners, I mean, it may not be true, right? We go through all these conspiracies that kind of are sometimes a little out there. This one is just a lot of oddities, a lot of odd stuff that kind of breaks in. But as me and Sam always say, hey, make your own decisions. Think for yourself. Like if that makes you feel odd, investigate why that does, because it's always important to critically think.
There's a lot more things and like actual theories. Like you can watch videos, and if you want to dive into Reddit, you can find some wacky stuff about like the Denver airport. But essentially, what we're saying is it's just odd. It's a lot of things don't make sense. I mean, there's so many conspiracies that these tunnels are, like you said, nuclear bunkers for the elite, the global elite. These tunnels are, I mean, you name it. There's, like you said, the lizard people is like probably the wackiest one.
But that one's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, that one's true.
Yeah. So, like Spencer said, keep your mind open. Think for yourself. This one's interesting to like, if this kind of intrigues you and you didn't know about any of this stuff, just look it up. Like, we're not making any of this up. This stuff's all real, like the stuff we talked about.
Even the lizard people.
Yeah. Noah's really stuck on the lizard people for some reason.
Well, to contradict my whole lizard position, I think there's like a healthy level of conspiracy, like not necessarily like believing in everything, but you shouldn't just like, in my opinion, just be like, oh no, everything's fine. Like nobody, like everything's just like all rainbows and sunshine. But also, I don't know if you should be like all the way like with Alex Jones screaming at people.
No, I think that's why.
Find that medium where you, like you said, think for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's one
thinking.
reason. Yeah, I think that's one reason why we.
Yeah, what everyone's telling you, or what the government's always telling us, because in the history of our government, they haven't always been honest.
Really? No, yes, they have. They've always told us the truth.
That's Sam's conspiracy, is that the government is always truthful.
I mean, they were right about some things.
Everyone's right every once in a while.
Yeah, the broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Michelle Obama was right about the healthy eating, because America has a bit of a
diet issue,
obesity problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That came from my left field. All right, well, that's a good place to end this. You can find us now on TikTok. It's at Nobody's Listening SWC. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you find podcasts. So if you want to see any visual stuff, find us on some of those other mediums. But other than that, thank you. And Noah, you have any plugs? Anything to plug?
Social media wise?
Yeah.
Whatever. No, we will I'll give you 30 seconds to say whatever you want to say.
15
seconds.
And go.
Oh my gosh, so much to say. I want to shout out Sam and Spence for letting me on this show. Please give me an extra 5 seconds because I shouted you guys out. Follow me on Instagram or don't. I don't really post anything very good. It's
all right, there we go. Yeah, it's 15 seconds.
I'm currently single and I'm not looking for a serious relationship, but I am looking for an older woman or man, don't care, who has lots of money to spend on me. I will provide like very intriguing conversations, lots of attention.
Yeah, Betty White, if you're listening, DM us on Instagram and we'll connect you with Noah.
I'm trying to have a deeper relationship with Betty White.
This thing is off the rails. All right. Thanks, guys. Tune in for next week.
See you next week.
I won't see you guys. Bye.